Hi Casey, my name is Paul. I'm doing a short response to your video on open marriage that you didn't quite understand it. One of the people who saw your video, her username is Claramata, Claramata, has made comments to the effect that she could not be involved in such a thing because she would be far too jealous to allow a man she was with to be with another woman. And I think that's exactly the whole point, is that people who would be in open marriages are the type who are not jealous. And there can be various number of reasons. Because one of the things is that people confuse marriage with love. They're two different things. Technically, marriage is a contract between two people, and it's usually done, although we confuse it by putting love in there. It is done for economic reasons, to allow people to provide some sort of security for themselves and their supposedly the children or the person they're getting married to, in a world where there is no security except what we can create on our own. And that is the real purpose of marriage, is specifically to provide security for those involved. I'll interrupt here for a moment to say that marriage is not just a contract between the two people involved. It's actually a contract between the state, the government that is, and the people involved, which, depending on the circumstances, may be more than two. In some countries, you can be married to more than one person at the same time. And this is one of the issues that the people who are involved in trying to get same-sex marriages legalized have realized, is that marriage is not a relationship between those involved. It is an economic contract, which we have for some reason forgotten. There are many benefits you get by being married to somebody. I think the number is estimated to be over 300 different benefits that are available, from societal recognition of your relationship with a person to automatic inheritance. If you die and you don't have a will, if you're married to someone, generally they get everything you have in the absence of a will. If you don't have a will and you are just living with somebody and you're not married to them, then your estate passes to your relatives first, or if you don't have any relatives, to the state. The person you're living with is not entitled to anything because they do not have a contract between you, the other person, and the government. Whether you love someone or whether you have a monogamous or non-monogamous relationship with the other person, that's an entirely separate matter which doesn't require marriage. It's just that we have, because of the way we have our world structured, of our civilization and our relationships with other people, we are in fact confusing marriage, which is in effect an economic contract, with love, which is how people feel about towards each other. So while I've never been involved in such a thing myself, I can understand how, if you are comfortable enough with a person that you're not jealous of them, that you know that person is not going to leave you for someone else, then it is quite possible to simply say, okay, we're not going to hold to the requirement that you be monogamous with me. And I suppose that's exactly what these people are, is that they do not have jealousies because they know the person is not going to leave them for someone else. And if they're not, then you may not need the requirement to say that they are supposed to be monogamous with you. And that's probably the reason that there are people that can be involved in open marriages, because they have realized that they have completely separated the idea of marriage as an economic contract, which is what it's supposed to be, and the relationship you have with another person, which we have in our society, confuse the two and merge them together instead of separating them as the way they originally probably were.